Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. How is everyone? Oh my God. So today is my most favorite day ever. And is that true? And again, I'm talking about Rhino, right? Obviously love when my son was born, my wife was born, when I married my wife, when my daughter was born, all of that, right? Like those are the best days ever, ever, ever. Cool. But I'm thinking about in all of our time with Rhino, what's up, Aunt? If this might be my favorite day. And it's possible. Oh my God. So let's just get to the the boring stuff first, right? Rhino is at another all-time high. We crossed over 2020 this morning, which actually was a terrible year. No, so 220. We crossed over 220 this morning. Our market cap has increased, I believe, 5,000. We're up to close to 45,000. Hey, Frida. And market cap's important, right? Because market cap is how much money's actually in everything that we're doing, which allows those that want to buy and sell to have a very liquid market in doing so. The goal is that that gets to over 1 billion one day and sometimes sooner than later. But as long as that number is always going up, good stuff. Our membership actually went down one. So we went from 351, actually went from 343 to 351 in like a couple of days, and then went to 353, and then went to 355, and then today to 354. So when I find who that person, I'm kidding. It could be whoever, right? And actually, so today's Bump Up Friday, which is such a cool little name. So Friday is when I'll email everyone the individual tiers, well, not the individual tiers, the individual plan amounts, and just share some updates. Hey, like we've been doing really good. Would you like to upgrade your plan? And the reason we do that is multifold, right? But the most part, it would be a great disservice not to always offer the person the opportunity to upgrade what they're doing. Because if you're doing something good, which I believe we are, then why wouldn't anyone say, yeah, well, I've had a good experience. I would like to continue growing this experience. I find that if you go ahead and you're fearful to go ahead and ask someone something, then that's on you. You're already giving yourself a reason they're going to say no. But we're not punishing anyone that says no. If you say no, that's fine. If you don't respond, that's fine. But there are a lot of people that get in at the dollar plan and they say, okay, let me see what's going on. And it is those people that we then email a week later or 2 weeks later and say, hey, I hope you've been having a really great time. And if you would like, why don't you upgrade to the $5 plan now that now that you know what's going on? And it's that touch point that those individuals say, yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. Thank you for thinking of me. At the same token, well, now at the $5 plan, is that same individual weeks later happy enough to say, wow, this has been really good. Yeah, I'll go to the 10. And it's not to be confused with, oh, this person's opting to give us more money because they're a charity. No, the truth is, or at least the math of it is, every single person in Rhino ever, if they made the decision to upgrade their plan, would have made the right decision. And that's a strong sentence. So I'm not commenting on whether someone had the finances or not to do it. That's that withstanding. The individual that had the finances to upgrade that chose not to upgrade, 100% of them made the wrong decision. And how do I know that's the wrong decision? Because the coin has gone up every single day since. In fact, we're at another all-time high today. So if you had the ability to upgrade, like you were financially sound to do so, and you didn't, do you look back and say, oh, wow, I wish I did because my investment would be worth that much more? So when I say right decision, wrong decision, that's a very subjective sentence, except when it can be objectively proven. So if the individual had the finances to do it and they did upgrade, they made the right decision. And the way I know that, objectively able to prove it, is that their profit is more than it was if they did not, right? So let me just get that out the way. So that's why we do that Friday, and I hope everyone says yes. We also go ahead and reach out to all the members that don't have plans, which actually we're up to 99. There are 99 members of Rhino that have no plan. Now, could that be someone that signed up and their kid started crying and they went away, or they signed up and they didn't have the right card in hand, or they signed up and blah, blah, blah. Could be. I don't see why one of them can't be that case. So we're going to email all of them as well. Hey, listen, really great. You signed up with RHINO. You just forgot to select the plan. Why don't you do that? And the ones that do, great. And the ones that don't, that's fine. Also, the ones we'll email everyone that canceled and said, hey, listen, we really miss you, because I do. I talk about everyone all the time. Could you give us another chance? Start back at $1. Some will say yes, some will say no. So Friday is a lot of seasons, greens from Deb. Hey, so Friday's a lot of that stuff. So let's get that out the way. Also, automations. So I spoke to Steve this morning, who's the head of app development, and I actually quoted him, except I capitalized the hey, but it was lowercase because it was just on our Slack channel. Hey, I think things are being sent out correctly, but they're kind of failing right at the end, which, although not great news, is very good news. And when I said that to him, he's like, because he was all disappointed, like, oh, I'm really sorry. I go, no, we're constantly getting further. Like, we didn't have this problem last week because now we've evolved to having this problem. And if we're able to see that the whole process is going, but there's one thing that's not working, are we smart enough to figure out that one thing? Yeah. The difficulty in invention is not the labor, it's the problem solving. When you sit there and you say, okay, I want to invent a way to save the world. Okay, great, how? But what if someone came to you and said, hey, listen, if you press the number 2 1 million times in a day, you will save the world. Well, now you just have to figure out the labor. Okay, can I press it quick enough? No. Okay, what if I hire people to do it? Now I can make a business. But the point is, you have to be able to identify what you need to do. So we now have identified what we need to do. And I think we're smart enough. So that's where that is. And if we have to do a bulk send tomorrow morning, I will, right? Like, we're going to make sure everyone's constantly caught up during this process, which actually brings me to one more thing, and then we're going to get into the super fun part of this. I think I'm doing a disservice to everyone by not kind of like educating one thing. And educate might be a strong word, but just kind of like making something aware. So our project with RHINO, from the get-go, when I spoke to everyone that are investors and people alike, the beauty of it, or at least the value or the uniqueness of it, was we were going to create a company out in public. We were just going to do it and bring everyone in, and every single day update everyone of everything. And that's fine. Everyone's been really tolerant with that. That's not the part that people have kind of been misguided on. Everyone knows that quite well. The part that people have been misguided on is, in lieu of doing what we're doing, what we would have done if we were every other company is we would just collect funding, be a total private company, no one knows what we're doing, and we would go through all of these trial and error processes by ourselves, which would be fine because the public would never know about it. In fact, we would then launch a year or two from now and say, look at us, we're so great, look at how well we did. And all the private investors would make a boatload of money, and nobody else would have ever had the opportunity to participate on a private investor level. The only opportunity they would have had is that when we went public, they would have had the opportunity to buy us at that price. Now, what do you think the price of RHINO or any company would be if you were purchasing it at the valuation that represented that they were perfect? And perfect is a strong word, but that they've solved all of their problems and they're a fully functioning, well-oiled machine. Everything is perfect. Well, you would say, well, it's probably be a lot. Yes, it would be. And that would be the only opportunity you would have. To be able to invest in a company on the private side is where you make the most money, because you're also taking on the most risk. The company might belly up, they might fail. There might be things that they can't solve. So the point I'm getting at is the price that everyone gets to enjoy today is commensurate with that we're going to have things that don't go right. We're going to have frustrating processes. We're going to have, oh my God, why isn't the bot working? It's been 3 months, it's been 4 months. We're gonna have, well, you said this was gonna happen last week and it didn't happen, yeah, Eve, it is. And by the way, Eve, I did see your RVP message. I just haven't been able to get to it, but I will, I promise. You know, this should have happened last week, this should have happened last month, this process isn't perfect yet. I know all that. And everyone is being compensated for those frustrations voluntarily, right? Like you're voluntarily here. And the compensation is the price that you're able to enjoy today is going to be markedly lower than where it's going to be in the future. So for instance, to get in today at $2.20, well, how much further are we than when we were $1 4 months ago? Well, we're a lot further. How much further are we than when we were last year, the penny? Well, we're much further. When we were a penny, we were just an idea. At $1, we just were public. At 220, we now have really, really cool stuff I'm about to show you. But the point being, when you're in such an immature company at this level, then the compensation for the frustration is the price that you get to buy at. Because the price will go up much higher if we reach our goals. And that price that's much higher will offer a level of profit that you would maybe one day say that was the most amount of profit I ever made. But it wasn't because it was free. Nothing's free in life. It was because you endured the headaches and frustrations. So what I'm trying to make clear is I do my best to always be right with everyone. And I think sometimes I do too good of a job of shielding people from, certain realities, that the frustrations parts of this business, although I try to keep it to such a minimum, and although I beat myself up and I beat our team up to go ahead and produce better and better and better, I need to just say it's going to be there. So, and no one ever gives me a hard time, but I think sometimes when I'm talking to people, they do have a level of frustration, like, hey, duh, like, come on, get it together. And at that point, I just kind of want to say, you're in the kitchen watching things being cooked. You're not at the table where it comes out perfectly. It's very different. So I want to share that. Okay, cool. So to Eve's point, we did do a Rhino Christmas where we were offering 20 coin to every loved one that you would send to. And it was for lack of excitement that we then went ahead and changed it to the Rhino Christmas that we did do. In which case we took that site down. Eve, because she's like, knows everything. And I say that in a good way because I totally love her. She found the website because she saw the link, and I'm thinking she went ahead and participated on it, and she's asking if we're still doing it. So the answer is everyone that did do it, we're honoring. I really didn't think anyone would find the link, but the answer is yes. Like, I'm not going to say no to that, but I wasn't intending on that. So Eve, you found a way to my heart like you always do. All right, for the main event. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, I really am a kid with this. So the challenge with Rhino Street was always from day one that because we were making a localized search engine, we were never going to scale or have the server power to do all the cool stuff, like how do you make a chicken pot pie, right? Like, you would have to go to Google for that. Like, we knowingly built something with the notion that we were never going to be able to beat Google. We were hoping that we could be a choice, an alternative to Google. And of course, that market is so large that to be an alternative is a really good thing, right? Google owns 90% of the market. So to be an alternative to the person that owns 90% of the market is a really good place to be. But we never thought we'd be able to beat them. Well, I think we just did. So watch this. Okay, so I'm going to do a share screen. I want to show everyone this because I'm like a little kid right now. All right, so let's get some of this. So you know what's annoying about Zoom? So you can't see that I have little buttons all over the place that are in my way, but I can. All right. So let's go to rhinostreet.com and you'll see this new lander. So of course we have Rhino Street, and if you want to search your local, your locality, you can put anything here and type and click search local, and it'll search exactly the 20-mile radius and everything we always said. But what if you want to ask Rhino something, right? So let's say, all right, well, let's have fun with this. Let's say, write me a love poem about a rhino and a cow. Ask Rhino. All right, come on. A rhino and a cow, a love that's so profound, a bond that's so strong it can never be broken down. The rhino's strength and the cow's grace, a perfect combination of two. A love that's so pure, it's something so true. The rhino's horns and the cow's soft fur, a love that's so unique, a bond that's so special, it's something so sweet. The rhino's courage and the cow's gentleness, a love that's so strong, a bond that's so powerful, can never go wrong. The rhino and the cow, a love that's so divine, a bond that's so beautiful, it will last for all time. Are you kidding me? How cool is that? All right, so let's do something more. And actually, so I want to tell you, tomorrow's email, I'm going to allow our tech to write. I'm not going to write it. It'll be the first time I don't write it. So let's say, write me a marketing email designed to sell pencils to priest. Let's see. Subject, get the best pencils for your church's needs. Dear priest, are you looking for the best pencils for your church needs? Look no further. Our pencils are perfect for taking notes, storing sermons, writing out prayers, and more. Our pencils are made with the highest quality materials, so you can be sure that they will last for years to come. They are also designed to be comfortable to hold and write with, so you can be sure that your hands won't get tired during long services. We also offer a variety of colors and styles, so you can find the perfect pencils for your church. Whether you need a classic black and white set or something more colorful, we have you covered. Order your pencils today and get them delivered right to your door. We guarantee that you'll be satisfied with our product and services. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, your name. Are you kidding me? Like, are you? I almost just cursed. Now, let's say you want to find out something that's like, what is the temperature in Brazil today? The temperature in Brazil today varies depending on the region. Generally, temperatures range from the mid-60s to the mid-80s Fahrenheit. Are you kidding me? All right. How do I make a chicken pot pie? Come on. Preheat oven to guys, like I don't really know what to say anymore. And what if you want to see a picture of a chicken pot pie, right? Chicken pot pie. You press image search. Come on, computer. Like what? Now, these should actually probably be across, not vertical. They should be more horizontal, so we'll get to that. But guys, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? So, we own that. Like everyone in this room, that's Rhino Street now. The point being, remember when it was only an idea? Remember even as early as 4 months ago? My point is, we really are doing the work. We really are moving forward every single day. And now we actually own something that is not only the alternative to Google, but actually is more powerful than Google. Now, also, that's tech. We have so Sam Altman and Elon Musk created ChatGPT, and we got approved as one of their approved vendors. So we have their APIs to pull that went ahead and produced that. Now, of course, we have a full developer team that was able to do exactly what you saw. So we were able to brand it for us. Very cool. There are going to be upgrades to what they do, which means there's going to be upgrades to what we do. And the cool thing about AI is now you're on exponential growth trajectory because the AI goes ahead and solves itself. So it is quite conceivable that, I don't know, by the end of this year, you're going to see something that's even markedly better than what you're seeing right now. Now, the image search, the upgrade cycle that we'll probably achieve by next week is we want the image search to allow you to actually create the image. So image search, find me a cow sitting on a rhino, and it will go ahead and create that image and allow you to search it. And then you could actually even edit the image. Well, that cow has a white background. I want it to have a black background, right? And it will do it for you. And then also there's software out there that allows you to I don't know. Just there's a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of really cool stuff. And we are actively now going down that rabbit hole to go ahead and make Rhino Street like, duh, why wouldn't you want to use it? So it's always been a slow rollout, and everyone knows that we haven't done any marketing because we want to always kind of build it. Like we don't know what it's going to be. It's like when Facebook said we don't know what we have yet. We just know that we have something that's cool, and coolness is important because we don't want to make it uncool. That's what we have. What I'm going to do this weekend, hopefully, like I wanted my round, yeah. What I plan to do this weekend is our Rhino Bucks video and lander page is amazing. I really love it. Everyone said really good things about it. It was a collaborative effort. One of our RVPs is amazing with copy and translated Anthony speak to actual like human speak. The video I did, obviously. I want to go ahead and make a sister page to that for Rhino Street that's of that quality as well. In which case, now we can share Rhino Street on a bigger level. Because I did start testing Twitter ads yesterday, Google search, because if someone types in crypto retirement program, I want to be there. And Etsy, because why not? Like, I don't think anyone ever advertised crypto or investments on Etsy. And there might be a reason for that, right? Because nobody cares about it. Or it might be, hey, we were the first ones that thought about it and look at the results. So we're starting to play with stuff. We reached out to marketing firms yesterday. We're starting to do that stuff. When I say our price of $220 today, yeah, it's great. It's like 220% from last year, and it's like 120% from 4 months ago. But where it's going to be higher, at least in my opinion, right? So I just say to everyone, whatever frustrations Rhino gives you, just know that if you multiply it by infinity, you'll just get a glimpse of how much frustrations it gives me. But we're all moving forward together. And I'm always going to be right here doing that. So in closing, tomorrow's email is going to be from Rhino. I want to have a sales email designed to, because we have like 7,000 opens and only 350 members. I want everyone to be a member. And if this AI could go ahead and do that, oh my God. And Eve, I totally get it. And I'm totally in charge of operations, which is, I understand the frustrations. And I think that's why big companies have, like, you have an operations manager, you have a this manager and that manager, because it really is just different skill set, right? Like, I want to be here just building and thinking and creating and inventing, but you can't do that unless you have the operations in place too. So I have to pause from doing that stuff to go ahead and try to do operations, which means by default, they're never going to be perfect. But if we could get Rhino to a point where now we are doing so well and we have so much money, we could then hire that operations manager. And that operations manager we hire goes, oh my God, I don't know how you've gotten this far without me, but I'm sure glad you did. So it's just getting there. And that's the point of being a private company. You have the ability to just get there without anyone looking and saying, you're not as good as you think you are. But that's been the value proposition. That's been the gold. That's been the unique thing of Rhino, that everyone tells me, well, Ant, you need to do this better, this better, this better. Because from my perspective, as long as I have thick skin, which I do, because you can tell me I'm ugly and I'll say, I don't really care. I get to learn how to be better in real time with a business on the line, hundreds of people accountable to, and a family that I'm just building. So I have the people telling me how to get better. I have the motivation to do it and the time to do it. So and I guess in a selfish way, I've created Rhino University and I'm going through it, right? I'm on the trapeze and there's no net. So we will get a net. We will hire people at some point, but continue telling me how to do better and I will do my best. So I love everyone. I will see you all later. And tomorrow's email is going to be just Rhino. And actually, so there's a new software that allows me to have a character that looks like me, take my voice as well, and then give it a script so it talks like me. And I wonder if I could do that, like if I could do tomorrow's live as like an AI Anthony. So I don't know, like, but that's cool. Like this is what we're doing. It's not like, oh, did we sell shirts today? No, did we like reinvent the world? Right? I think we did. Love you, Deb. Eve, authenticity is a key word. Love it. Love everyone. And go Rhino. I'll talk to you later. Bye.